So why do people shortcut the trail? Well, it's because they think they are actually hiking less by going through a pristine area instead of staying on the trail. A lot of times the trails are designed in a zigzag pattern instead of going straight up the most difficult part of the mountain. If the trail was laid out where you just went straight up the side of the mountain, it would be very difficult. So they try to make the trail go in these long loops up to the top. And you can see here where this trail now cuts into a sharp turn. This is actually called a switchback, and then it goes down this way. But if I wanted to, couldn't I just go straight through here to get to the other side of the trail without having to go all the way around? I could, but that's why I would be impacting all of this wilderness area. And we call that shortcutting, and of course, that's what we want to avoid. So sometimes people don't understand how their own individual actions can create a bigger problem. And so I want to point out, here's yet another social trail. But all it takes is one person to cut this trail one time, and what happens when they do that is they sort of clear some of the leaves as they go down. And then the next person comes behind and they see just that one little hint of a trail because those leaves have been moved, and somebody says, oh hey, looks like somebody cut the trail here, that looks like a good idea, I think I'll do it. So then they cut the trail, and now more leaves are moved out of the way, and so the more and more people start to go through it, the more this social trail evolves until the point that it looks like this, where there's absolutely no vegetation. It actually starts to look like what might be an official trail, and heck, now if it looks like an official trail, everyone's going to take it. So this is another reason why we have to think about our impacts as individuals. It really started with just that one person, that one time, just going through here and starting to make that little path that has now grown and created all of this impact. So here's just one more example of the impacts of someone shortcutting the trail, creating that social trail, and then it expanding. As you can see here on the hill, these dark lines here, where it's very obvious that it looks like people have been walking through here and there's absolutely no vegetation whatsoever, this is going to create an erosion problem, and of course it's going to impact the wilderness. But otherwise, this hill would look more like what we see over here. And this is what we refer to as pristine. So if we have a choice between leaving our wilderness areas pristine like this for us to enjoy, or creating these kinds of negative impacts, we really should stick to the trail. So staying on a durable surface really does help minimize those negative impacts.